except on Google Chat. So it looks like my slides, there's just no way I'm going to be able to show you guys my slides. You get the pleasure of watching me today. I apologize. I really wish I could share my slides with you. I'd much rather have you looking at my slides than me. And hopefully you just ignore my lazy doggies in the background here. And be sure that you're asking questions too. I would love to hear from you guys. And so ask away whatever questions you might have as we're going along, okay, guys? And so basically, what we're going to talk about today is RFPs. So RFPs are the request for proposal, and what happens is it's kind of like a job posting. So for a while, I actually had it listed as a job board, but then that sounds too much like an employee. So I decided I didn't want to have it listed as a job board. I decided to call it the RFP board. And I think that's a lot more professional. I mean, we are, you know, we're not employees and everything. So I thought that was important that we make that change. And, but I see a lot of these RFPs going around, and I'm dealing with clients, and sometimes the clients call me and sometimes the VAs call me, and it's really great. I kind of like being in the loop to know what's going on with you guys. But what I really like hearing is how the clients felt when they got the RFP. Sorry, the camera's clear up there. So how the clients felt when they got the RFP, what responses they preferred, and that kind of thing. And I did a lot of research also on RFPs as well. So this is just me talking. And it was really actually kind of comforting when I did my research. I found that a lot of the things that I was going to say that I already had in my slides and ready to go was that, oops, oh, by the way, you guys, Tanner has a ginormous screen. He literally has a 27-inch screen, so it's enormous. So there, that's a little better. So now I look like I'm looking at you guys anyway. So I was really kind of comforted to know that what I was going to present to you guys is the same thing that I actually read on a lot of the articles I read. So I encourage you to go out and do some research on it and see what people are saying, see what some of the articles are saying and things, because a lot of them are same. Now, so an RFP is not just for the virtual assistant world. RFPs are actually completed by a lot of contractors for a lot of different reasons. And I found a lot of really fantastic information. So I hope you guys do some research. But basically what we're going to be covering today, let me see if I can set my Mac over here in front of his PC. So then at least I can have it right in front of me. How's that? Okay. So what we're going to cover today is what not to do on an RFP, the guidelines for success on an RFP, what an RFP must have, and when to send follow-ups, what to do after, and that kind of thing. So hopefully you guys are ready and prepared with any questions that you might have. I'm going to go ahead and just push play on my presentation because then it will keep me on track. So here we go. Okay, number one thing not to do on an RFP is not to assume things into what the client is saying. Sometimes the clients don't quite know specifically what they're asking for. Maybe they ask it in a unique way that makes us think something else. Maybe we're reading into it a little too much. Maybe we're not reading into it enough, but try not to assume. It is okay to ask questions, and I'll be going over that too. But it's really important that you not assume things from an RFP. Take it for face value. A lot of clients who are coming to the network especially are fairly new to the VA industry. I'm trying to spread the word to as many people as I can. And so sometimes the people who come to the network have never worked with a VA. So maybe they need a little bit of guidance. Now, if you're one of those VAs who can give guidance, you're going to be able to charge more. So there's kind of a fine line between a VA who actually you hire and then you just give them tasks and they just do it, and an online business manager. If you're in that middle section of VAs where you're able to give lots of value, give some feedback, if they ask you to do something and you know that's really maybe not the best way to do it, give them some suggestions. That's going to be really great for you. So don't assume anything into the RFP that they're sending out, okay? The second thing is, do not send, I'm so sorry about the dogs, you guys, it's distracting me. Don't send them a copy and paste standard response. You know what? They know when you're doing that. It's okay to have like a template that you use and go in, but a lot of times I've seen these RFPs come through and they're very basic and standard. They're not customized at all. And the clients don't like that. They want to feel like they're special. Like you're the only RFP that they're replying to this whole year. So we need to make them feel special. So if you're using a copy and paste template, that's fine, but you want to be sure and customize that. Read it through. A trick I learned from Marie Gray, she actually reads things backwards. And another trick that I learned from someone is that if you read something out loud, you're going to find a lot of the things that maybe you missed. So I just joined this really cool group recently, and they have a product that comes out every year. And so they revamp it every year. And I was just reading through it last night, and there are so many mistakes. I mean, and you guys know I make mistakes. I'm not accusing them of being like bad entrepreneurs or anything, but there's a lot of mistakes, and it was very distracting to be reading through that and seeing that this is a whole section that they completely skipped, never even looked at. So don't let that happen in your RFPs when you're replying. If you're going to use a copy and paste, read it out loud. Make sure you customize it as much as possible. One thing that I just realized I did not put in here, I need to remember that. Okay, got to remember that. Make sure when you're replying to an RFP, you don't miss information. So basically what happens was a client fills out an RFP is they're telling you exactly what they want from you, or that they think they want, or that they assume that they want. If they have worked with me before, I've had them spend a week or two writing down every single task that they do every day, writing down every platform that they need. And just like I tell you guys to do when you're coming up with your services, I have them circle the things that they feel like they can have a VA do, and I have them cross out the things that only they can do. And so that usually if they've talked to me, they're going to come to you with a pretty solid list that they know exactly what they want, and they're going to come to you with a budget of what they want. So if they ask you and they come to you and they say, I'm looking for a VA who can help me with my MailChimp, my Facebook, and let's see, and WordPress updates. And then when you reply to them, you say something like, hey, I can help you with all of those things, give me a call. That's not what they want to hear. They want to hear from you, I have 5 years experience with MailChimp, and I have helped this client do this, and I feel really comfortable with MailChimp. I have this experience with using WordPress and with updates, and I feel very comfortable doing this. I have this experience with, oh shoot, what was the other thing I told you? I can't remember the other thing. So you're going to actually answer everything that they ask for. So they're going to give you the list of what they want, and you're going to answer to everything that they have. Now, we're going to talk a little bit also in a little bit about what to do if you don't have some of those skills. So just overlooking that for right now, if you don't have those skills, be sure and have an answer for them for each of the skills or platforms that they're asking for. Don't skip over information. They want to hear about every single thing that they asked you for. Okay. Another thing, and this actually happened, and I almost died when the client contacted me, and I don't remember who this was. It was somebody in the network at the time. They literally sent an email that was 2 lines long that said, I think we would be a great fit. Please contact my VA to schedule an appointment with me. Now, I doubt, how would you guys feel if you got an email like that? I doubt that any of you would be doing that, but I'll tell you, I just was shocked. So don't send them a 3-line email that tells them to call your assistant to schedule an appointment with you. Not cool. So I wanted to be sure and put that in there just in case somebody else decides to do that. And a lot of these things I'm talking about are things that I've seen come through in the RFPs, so or that have been mentioned to me by clients that I haven't seen of the RFP. Also, it's important not to just send an email that says, here's my appointment scheduler, let's schedule a time to chat. You need to specifically answer every one of their questions, their conditions, and then ask for a time to chat. So don't just send an email that says, schedule a time to chat, here's my scheduler. Another big thing that I see a lot of VAs doing, and I probably see this more than half of the time, is I see the responses to the RFPs that go back and they say, I think we would be a great fit. Go to my website and check out more details about me. It's so, 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 so important that you not do this. When they come to the network, they're specifically asking for specific skills. If they wanted to go and look at a bunch of websites, they would have gone and looked at a bunch of websites. They could have done that on their own. They want to hear from you specifically. They want to hear you say, I see that this is a skill that you're looking for. This is how I can help you with that skill. So don't just send them to your website. That's kind of a given. It's going to be in your signature line. They know you're going to have a website, but you are doing a direct contact with them, especially if they come through the network. This is a warm contact. Don't treat them as a cold contact and refer them to your website. Don't do it. You won't get hired. And I would even bet that just about any RFP you replied to, you have a specific email for that person, and they are asking for you to contact them. So don't ever just send them directly to the email. Let's see. Yeah, so Beth is asking, if you do not have a skill but do not offer those at this time, what do you do with them? And yeah, I'm going to get to that in the what to do's. So we're going to cover that in the what to do's. I read an RFP that listed a long list of jobs, and it was very different work that did not go well together. Yeah, that happens. A lot of times they're asking for completely random things. I think I have one up there right now that nothing that he is asking for is even related to each other. But you do, even if it's a really long list, try and clump some things together, because when we get to the what you should do is here in a minute, that's one thing that you need to do, is it should not be really, really long. So whatever you can do to clump it together, try to do that to get a good response there. Let's see, and should an RFP be an attachment or just an email? Okay, so that's a great question, and we're going to cover that in the to-dos also. So these are great questions. You guys are awesome. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. And if I don't cover them in here, I'll be sure that we do at some point. But let's go on with the what not to do. Do not, if you don't do anything else that I tell you in the do nots, if you do all the things I tell you with the do nots, whatever, if this is the only thing you remember from this course today, it is this: do not give them your rates in the email. If you've watched my negotiation class, you know why. 9 times out of 10, you will get them to contact you by having a really great response to the RFP. Then you can find out their budget. Then you can work it into their budget, and you can create a plan for them. If you give them your rate, their chances are they're not going to contact you back. And this has happened. Most clients, they want to know the rate. They really do. But you need to get them on the phone or have a conversation with them. Let them get to know you before you get to the rate. So to me, anytime I've ever negotiated something, the rate is always the last thing I negotiate. And I have a 90% conversion rate whenever I'm talking to somebody. And it's the last thing I discuss. And honestly, you guys, I don't have a problem getting clients. I really don't. And I think it has to do with the fact that I convince them that I'm the best person for the job, that I can get it done. I can get it done in a certain amount of time. And then we talk about rates. So if the first thing out of your mouth or the first thing in your email is about rates, chances are they're not going to hire you. Also, if you happen to talk to them about rates at some point, it's extremely important that you keep your rate consistent. I have heard recently from a client who said that they got an RFP that quoted a rate. When they got on the phone with the VA, they quoted another rate. When they got the contract, it had another rate in it. Now, I don't know if this is a true story or not. With this particular person, I only have one side of the story, don't know exactly what happened, but I have had this happen in the past too, where clients have come to me and said, I was quoted this rate the first time I spoke with this person, and the next time they quoted me a higher rate. So just don't quote rates. And when you do quote rates, at the very, very end, after you've already convinced them that you're the most amazing VA in the entire world, then write it down so you don't forget what you told them, and don't change it. Be consistent. This is a whole other really super good reason that you're going to have your rates and packages already worked out, and you're going to have a one rate no matter how many hours they pick. You're not worth less money per hour just because they buy more hours at a time. You are worth what you're worth, okay, guys? So whatever your rate is, My rate is $97 an hour now, you guys. I'm just going to put it out there. That's my rate. And so whenever I create my packages, I look at the amount of time that it's going to take me to do things, and I calculate $97 an hour, and then I add on the value to the end of whatever that particular thing is. So don't shortchange yourself. Somebody has to definitely know your hourly rate. You better tell them the same thing every single time, and you better bill them the same thing, and you better make sure it's the same in your contract, okay? So rates. Also, what not to do is make sure it's not too long or too short. So just like Beth said, if they're asking for a huge long list of things, try and clump some of them together, maybe put them under some subheadings. I would say that the maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs, okay? So we're going to get into the what to put, what to. So I'll show you the kind of the trick, the little sneaky way that you can get more information in there. But basically what you're doing is this is like I went to you and I said, hey, Beth, I would like to hire you as a virtual assistant. I would like you to help me do this, this, and this. And I give you my email. Okay, now it's your turn, guys. You're going to reply to me. I'm a busy entrepreneur. I really want to hear from Beth, and Beth is going to come back to me in her most conversational tone, and she's going to say, hey, Sheila, I think it's fabulous. I would love to work with you, and this is what I think I can do, or this is what I know I can do for you, and these are the benefits you're going to get, and you're going to answer the objections. We're getting into the what you're going to do here a little bit, but that's what you're going to do. You're not going to make it too long. We don't want to send them a novel. I've seen those too. I've seen emails where they're just go on and on and on. They don't have time for that. And then I've seen the ones that are too short, like I said, that just say, go to my website and check out my skills. I literally have seen that, you guys. So let's not do that, okay? So moving on. Also, make sure that you are replying with what they're asking for. When we get to the what to do's, we're going to talk about how you can add little things in there as well. But specifically in that RFP email, you want to specifically address what they are asking for. And then we'll talk more about that too. And respond quickly, you guys. I actually have had VAs I have sent clients to. I have said to these clients, these are the 3 VAs I'm sending you to. They are amazing. They're wonderful. You're going to love them. They're going to take great care of you. And 3 weeks later, I see one of them finally replying to the RFP. By then, the people are hired. You guys, you have your window to reply is like minuscule. So you really need to reply as quickly, as accurately, and as well as you possibly can, okay? I think also not those tactics that say my rates would be going up very soon. Oh, no, that's happened too, yeah. Hey, get in with me now because my rates are going up next week. I've seen that too, Beth, and you're right. Not a good idea. So can you guys hear me? It looks like Tracy said, I'm having to use the mic is clear up there, and my cat is, I hope you guys can't hear my cat. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to go ahead and keep going on. All right, so those are the things not to do. Now let's talk about the guidelines for success, the things that you need to do, okay? If you guys are writing this down, this is a great place to start writing things down. So you already know all those other things. I probably was telling you stuff you already knew, but just letting you know some of the experiences I've heard back from clients, and I've seen things happening that, and in my research, like I said, a lot of the things I saw in my research show that, VAs are not the only ones making these little mistakes. But we don't want them to cost you the job. So the guidelines for success, number 1, I would love to know what you all think number 1 is. Now I know that this chat is really slow. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold off on number 1, and I want you to reply. Before you reply to an RFP, what do you think the number 1 thing that you should do is that will get you this position with this client? Tell me what you think the number 1. Oh, good. You can't hear the cat. Good. Because he's like, it's driving me crazy. So tell me what you think the number 1 thing is that you should do before replying to an RFP. And I'm going to go on and tell you the next couple things, and then we're going to come back to it. So the number 2 thing I have is that, especially if you're using a copy and paste, is to read it 3 or 4 times out loud. Okay? So read it out loud. Don't just read it in your mind, because your mind and your eyes actually have a way of skipping over things. And so if you're reading it out loud, here's another trick. Read it in a monotone voice. Guidelines for success. Oh, I almost told you the first one. Read it 3 or 4 times. Read it just like that, you guys. Oh, Janice got it. Good job, Janice. That's awesome. So number 1 is research the client. Yay, I'm loving this. You guys are all knowing it. This is awesome. You guys are fantastic. So we'll come back to that in a second, but this is so exciting. You guys know. So reading it 3 or 4 times out loud in a monotone voice will help you find those little chats and stuff and things, or those little typos. They'll help you find the wording that's not quite right. I don't know about you guys, but when I write in a conversational tone, sometimes I put words backwards than what they make sense when you're reading them. So be sure you do that. So you guys are awesome. So definitely number 1 is research your client. So now let me tell you another thing that's happened to me. I'm going to step back a little bit, but I had some VAs that when I very first started the network, I was finding out what their rates were so that I could adjust the clients who I sent to them. And I would be able to say things like, you know, this is a lower paying or lower hourly rate VA, but her skills are better. So, you know, you're going to get really good results with her. She's a little bit newer, so she charges a little bit less. I used to say things like that. I don't anymore. But I actually did that, and I was talking to some people, and then I couldn't even believe it. This VA did research on the client, found out that they were a high-profile client, and changed her rates from $20 an hour to $60 an hour. This lady was ready to hire her, but she skipped her rates. She increased her rates. Now, this gal is no longer a VA. I was never able to get her clients because every time I sent her clients, she was changing her rates every time with every, no, it doesn't matter if they're a 7-figure client or, you know, a 6-figure client or a 5-figure client. If your rates are what they are, that's what they are for everybody, you guys. Don't change your rates on people just because you know about them. But if you research them, then when you're giving your reply, you can talk to them as if you know them. So, I mean, how cool is that? That you can actually use some of the words that they use in their sales pages. You can get a feel for what kind of client they are. You'll know whether they're going to be the client you like to work for. So researching them is really, really important. Let's see. Janice says, yeah, it keeps you from skipping words. Sylvie says, always read it out loud. I find that in English, you can always tell when something is not right. It doesn't always work in French. Oh, French is your first language. I didn't know that. That's interesting. But yeah, definitely reading it out loud. It helps me quite often. Let's see. Yeah, check out their online activity. I usually, you know what, you guys, one of my first coaching clients, the reason that she hired me was she actually posted in a group that we were in that had more than 1,000 people, and she said, that's it, I'm done. I'm gonna hire a virtual assistant. And this is Michelle Jameson. And I went and I did research on her. I was on my phone and I was in a passenger in the car, and I went and researched her, and I didn't know specifically what she was looking for in a VA, but I emailed her when I got home and I said, hey Michelle, I'd love to be your VA. Here's a list of some of my skills, and here's some things that I think I can help you with. And I ended up working with her for 3 months to improve her branding, and ended up being more than just a VA to her. I changed her whole brand, really stepped it up. I think she looks amazing now, and I taught her how to use social media correctly. So she is stinking awesome now, and she's got her daughters helping her with everything. I was able to help them get everything in place where her daughters could take over for me, and it was beautiful. And I just love those guys. They're fantastic. So let's see, when you do what, you come off opportunistic. I'm curious, Beth. So let me tell me what you think about that. When you do that, you come off opportunistic. I'm not sure what, if you're, Anyway, let me know if you're thinking about how I approach Michelle. That's worked for me every time, by the way. I really am very careful when I talk to clients about things that they need to work on before I contact them, and I'm super, super careful in my wording. And you know what's funny is I actually have my kids read things for me. My 18-year-old, 22-year-old summer towner, you guys know those guys. I'll have them read things for me and tell me what things sound like, because sometimes when you're writing something, it can sound rude and people misunderstand, and sometimes, you know, you can sound like you're a pushover or whatever. So research them, read it 3 or 4 times. Another suggestion is to make an outline of what you're going to say. So when you're reading through the RFP, they're giving you the list of things that they want. And like Beth said, sometimes they're completely off the charts, or like they're like over here with one thing and then they're over here with another thing, whatever that may be. So as you're doing, just like when you're listening to a client on the phone, as you're reading the RFP, make kind of an outline and then organize it so that your thoughts are organized before you reply back. So make sure that you're including your experience, your skills, and what makes you different from other RFPs that that you're replying to. So make sure that you, or other VAs that are replying to the RFP, what makes you separate or special. Okay, so another guideline for success, it's okay to ask questions in your RFP. Get the conversation going, get them to reply to you. So you're gonna say, I am replying to this RFP that I found on Leapfrog VA Network, and here's just a couple of questions I'd like to clarify before I go into it. You know, I have experience with this, however, I'm wondering about this. So ask questions. It's okay to ask questions, 2 or 3 questions in your response. Also, okay, so here's the part Tracy asked, should the RFP be an email or an attachment? So basically what I would suggest is that you make an email response that's, between 3 and 5 paragraphs, no more than 5 for sure, and short paragraphs too. So you'll have 3 to 5 paragraphs where you directly speak to what they asked for, address their concerns, and speak to the fact of how you can help them. And then it's okay to go ahead and have an attachment. I just skipped a slide here, so let me. Okay, then it's okay to have an attachment that speaks to your business, your expertise, and maybe your mission statement, and could include even some testimonials. So if you're including testimonials, okay to go 2 pages on that. Otherwise, I would just have a 1-page attachment. So the email is your conversation with them. Your attachment is like an addendum to your conversation with them. It's an extension. Instead of sending them to your website, instead of sending them to some other place to, you know, hey, check out my social media, see how I do on that. You're going to actually have an attachment that looks really nice, maybe has a picture of you on it, that just speaks to about your business and your expertise. Make it short, make it brief. It's not a resume. I've heard of these things called something else before, and I can't remember. You guys, I think I'm getting like Alzheimer's or something. But it's basically just like a 1-page description of you and or your business, what your mission statement is, just a powerful little packed full piece of information that's very, very easy to read. But the email is the conversation, and the attachment is then the extension of your business and yourself. So be sure that you, if you include some type of proposal that includes numbers on it, you've already gotten way past that. You've spoken with them on the phone, you've emailed them a couple of times, maybe you've chatted with them on Skype, whatever it is, but I wouldn't send them any numbers on that proposal until after or down the road. So that is something that you will eventually send to them. But that's more like in the 3rd email is going to be that proposal. After you've spoken to them, not necessarily if they've never gotten back to you. Also, like I've said before, don't include your rates. Oh, adjust your rates to a client's profile. Oh yeah, that is opportunistic, and it's not a good decision because, number one, a lot of online people know each other, and if they're talking, they'll say, you know, I hired Sylvie for this job and she charged me this, and then I hired Beth for this job and she charged me this. How do you think that makes them feel if one of them is getting charged a different rate than the other? So, you know, raise your rates once or twice a year, but keep it really consistent, you guys, with the rates. But it's okay to include timelines. So and here's another thing that I've noticed that has happened is that VAs will say things like, I only have a spot for one client left. So, I really need you to get in now if you're going to get in because I'm going to run out of time. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with any of that headache. They don't want to deal with any of that mess. They're not going to call you quicker because you say you only have spot for one client left. Don't say that. Just keep that to yourself. What they want to hear is, I can help you with this, and I am available at this day, at this time. Is that convenient for you to meet by Skype? Here's my Skype ID. Would love to connect, something like that. But don't put timelines on them. These are not people who like to be given ultimatums. My rates are going to go up. I only have one spot left. I'm running out of time. I actually have seen that where there was an email that went out that said, I'm only available on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for 2 hours on Tuesday and 2 hours on Wednesday. Well, that's, you need to be, that's a conversation for way down the road. So once you get them to where they are in love with you and they want to hire you, then you'll start talking more about, narrowing those timelines down and say, you know what, I'd love to have you be my Tuesday client. I'll work with you on Tuesday since you're only looking for 2 hours a week, and the rest of the week, as long as you give me 48-hour notice if something needs to be done, if I have time, I'll take care of it on another day during the week. But you can know for sure that on Tuesdays between 10 and 2, I will definitely be working on your work, okay? Yeah, like a benefit flyer, Sylvie, that's exactly right. So it's just like a short little, it can be, look like a little fold-out thing, but definitely something that they can look at online, and it'll be really nice. So here's some things now that RFPs must have, and we've already gone over a lot of these things, but we'll just go into them a little deeper. So specifically answer the things that they're asking for. I can't stress this enough. I'm really surprised at how many RFPs I see, or even how many clients I hear back and they say, I heard from this one VA that you told me was going to be amazing, but she didn't say anything in her reply to my RFP about this particular skill. And maybe it was one of the skills that they listed. And so be sure that you're specifically answering to the best of your ability what things that they are asking for. Be sure that you're highlighting your strengths, and you can recognize your weaknesses, especially. So this is where we talk about the part where, what if I don't have one of the skills? Well, here's the thing, guys. If you have 60, 70, 80% of the skills they're looking for, reply to the RFP. 9 times out of 10, they're looking for somebody they like their personality, and they're willing to work with them or train them on some things. So this is a great opportunity to get your foot in the door with somebody. If they find that they absolutely just adore you and they think that you're wonderful and you don't have that one skill, but you're willing to learn it on your own time, go for it. Reply to it. So go ahead and say, hey, I have skill number 1, 2, and 3, but on skill number 4, I've looked at it, I've done some training videos on it, I've never actually used it myself, but I'm willing to learn on my own time to add this skill to my list of skills or to my repertoire, whatever you want to say, because Sylvie probably can say that better than me. If you're willing to do that, you know what? If you tell a client, I don't have that skill, but I'm willing to learn that on my own time, they love it. They love it. They would much rather hear from you that you don't have a skill, but you're willing to learn it, than to have you not apply. So definitely apply. They want to hear for it. And another must-have on an RFP is, let's schedule a time to discuss your needs, okay? And so then you're going to give them either an appointment calendar link, but before you just say, head on over to my appointment calendar and schedule a time to chat, make it more personal. Have it actually say, I would love to chat with you. I'm available this coming Tuesday. Here's a link to my appointment calendar. Please schedule a time to chat. Those few little words, you guys, they love it. So add that tiny little bit. Don't just say, I would love to schedule a time to chat. Here's my appointment scheduler. That little tiny tweak of, I would like to meet with you on Tuesday. I'm available on Wednesday. Here's how you can schedule an appointment with me and grab your spot right now. And if they get on there and they see that you're not available on Tuesday and they're going to have to schedule on Wednesday, that's okay. They see that you took the time to say to them that you wanted to talk to them on Tuesday. I know, crazy. But just little things like that, they're going to love it. So you guys are going to be doing these things. All right, couple more must-haves. Definitely ask them a question. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been on job interviews, but when I, back in the corporate world, whatever, before my online life, I would go to job interviews. And I did a lot of research on how to make it through job interviews. And there's only been one time that I didn't get a job I applied for. And I think I kind of didn't want that job, and I kind of botched the interview on purpose. So it didn't really hurt my feelings. But I found that if you ask a question to the person that you're having an interview with or that you're doing the RFP with, they feel like you are interested in them other than just selling to them. So it doesn't matter what the question is. It can be anything from, I see that you've asked for this skill. How much time do you think you need for someone to help you with blogging every week? Or, hey, I've taken a look at your website. I think it's awesome. I'd love to hear more about what you are doing. If you ask them these questions, that's like, everybody likes to talk about themselves, right? So if you ask somebody a question about themselves, you're going to get a lot more conversation. So ask them something about themselves, about their business, whatever it is, but be sure and ask at least one question in your RFP. Seriously, it really does make a difference. Also, be sure that when you attach information about your business and things like that, that you're including some testimonials or some social proof. But also, it's really important that you're honest. So the most important RFP must-have is that you're honest. So if you don't have a skill, it's okay. Like I said, tell them you don't have it, but you're willing to learn it and you've taken a look at it. And I actually saw this on an RFP once where it said, I'm not familiar with this particular platform, but I did a lot of research on it. I found that they have some really great tutorials once you get the login. I also found some tutorials on YouTube, and I've taken a look at those, and I feel pretty confident that I can learn this on my own time. Now, keep this in mind, you guys. If they're asking for a skill, chances are somebody else is going to need it too. And if you learn that skill, that's going to increase your value. And you can start offering that skill to other people. So don't turn something down just because you don't have the skill, you guys. All right, let's see. Beth says, oh, is that, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to read that out loud. Okay, I'm not sure if that one probably was supposed to be a direct message, so I'm not going to read that loud, but let's see. What if you don't have an online calendar? Is it all right if I just suggest? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, don't say I don't have an online calendar, but just say, I would love to speak with you. I'm available on Tuesdays from 10 till 12. What time would work with you that I could have 15 minutes of your time or something like that? Let them know what time zone you're in. Let them know to reply to you to tell them what time is convenient, and give them a time slot that they can reply to you within that time slot. Chances are they may not have time in that time slot, so always make it clear. If this time does not work for you, I'm open to hearing if you could give me 3 times when we might be able to meet, or ask them for their online scheduler and schedule a time on their online scheduler. That's okay too. So give them your window, ask them for their window, or ask them for their time slot, and that's okay too. Really great questions, you guys. This is awesome. You guys are awesome today. I should start late and have mic problems more often. This is a great conversation. Oh, maybe it's the dogs, you guys. My 14-year-old dog here. She's getting old, and she's in her last few days. And then my other puppy over here, who's brand new, 2 years old. Any other questions? So ask me your questions while I go on, and I'm going to tell you about sending the follow-up. So a lot of people ask me this. They'll say, I replied to an RFP and I haven't heard back. What should I do? So my suggestion when you're replying to an RFP is try and be one of the first ones and try and get an appointment to speak with them. 9 times out of 10, when I can speak with someone, I'm going to be able to sign them as a client. If I can't get them on the phone, chances are I'm not going to sign them as a client. So it's really important that you have things in place, that you have a nice signature line, that you have your links are working in your signature line, that they're able to research you and things like that just by getting your email. because you want to build that relationship with them. This is your one chance. This RFP is your one chance to get, to get them to call you or to schedule an appointment with you. So make sure that there's availability for them to research you. You don't have to tell them to go to your website. It's going to be in your signature line. If they're interested, they will go to your website. You don't have to tell them to check out your social media. They're going to do that if you have links or whatever you need to do in there too. So just keep those things in mind. So reply as quickly as you can. When I send out the email and make the post in the group that there's an RFP, I want to see replies by the end of the day. And a lot of times I see 1 or 2 come in, and then 3 or 4 days later, I'll see a couple more go through. You guys need to get on these. These are warm leads. So typically what happens with these RFPs, just so that you guys know, is I'll speak with someone in a group, or I'll post something in a group, or they'll see an ad and they'll get the link to fill out the RFP, and they'll fill out the RFP. And I always tell them that if I speak with them, or in the ad that they may see, or in the group where I'm talking about it, that they'll be able to have replies coming back within 2 to 3 days. So I would, if it's been more than 3 days, I don't, go ahead and reply. I actually had somebody who replied back 3 weeks later, and they got the job. So always reply, but try to reply within the first 24 to 48 hours for sure. Once you've sent that reply, 2 days later, so on day 3, you want to send them a second email if you haven't heard back. And what you want to say in the second email is, just following up to make sure you got my reply. In case you haven't, it's below. So send it again. Also just checking to make sure that you are getting my emails. So please reply back and just let me know if you've gotten the email. And then feel free to email me and ask if I've heard. Not you guys, I don't know, the clients, they hire people and I don't hear about it until the VA and the client are talking about it in another group. I don't know. I'm kind of out of the loop after that, which is totally fine. That's how I want it to be. I want you guys to take it over and take the clients and be amazing. So on day 1, you're going to send an email. On day 3, you're going to send an email. On day 5, you're going to send a final email. Just another follow-up to let you know I was thinking about this RFP. I would love to hear back from you. Remind them of a time when you're available to chat. Remind them of the link to your scheduler if you would like. Ask them to contact you by email. Give them your Skype address. Give them your phone number, whatever you feel comfortable giving them. And then let them know, just in case you've already decided to go with someone else, or if something has, you're not, I don't know, guys, I have to think about this. So I'm really careful about when I reply back on that 5th one. But, something that just basically says that this is the last time I'll contact you. I don't want to be bothering you, but just so that you know, I'm here, I'm available, and I would love to hear from you. So basically this on day 5. I'm going to sneeze. Okay, I'm not going to sneeze. Okay, so day 1, day 3, and day 5, and I would just go ahead and leave it at that, okay? If they haven't gotten back to you on the 3rd email, a couple things could be happening. First off, don't take it personally. You never know why they didn't get back to you. Sometimes these people, they just do it just to get the replies to see what's going to happen. Sometimes they do it, and then 6 months down the road, they may contact you because they just wanted to find out what the whole process was about. Or it has happened before where I've actually worked with someone, helped them find a VA, and then someone that they know turned out to be a VA and they hired somebody else. Or, it certainly could be that they're not getting your emails. That's always an option. There's really no way to know why they're not getting back to you. But I don't think that more than 3 emails is really ever necessary, okay? So let's see. Let's see what questions we have. Oh, Beth is looking for, yeah. Well, I figured you were looking for clients, Beth, if you weren't. I'm surprised that you joined the network, but I'm trying to find you clients. I almost had you on there for a little bit, and then that one just didn't work out. Let's see. Let's see if I can see more of the. Oh, Beth, that I've mentioned, getting a lot of skills. So basically, Beth, or is this Tracy? Oh, another person. Okay. So Beth says, I noticed that you mentioned it a lot, that you suggest learning more skills. I'm at a cap, as in I don't want to be fairly good at 24 skills, but really good and really, really good at 3 to 6 skills. Then so am I in the wrong line of work? Absolutely not. You're not in the wrong line of work. When I talk about learning new skills, that's really up to you and what works for you. If they're asking for 24 skills, they're not going to find that in one person. You certainly can outsource things as well. But if it's a skill like one shopping cart, for example, I had a client come to me several months ago and I had all of the skills that they needed but one shopping cart. Well, for me, that was a smart move for me to go learn one shopping cart. And so if it's a smart move for you to learn an additional skill, if it will help you be able to increase your hourly rate, if it will help you gain more clients, and it's a smart move and you feel like it's the best thing to do, then absolutely learn a new skill. And so like I learn as much as I can. I don't know that I ever quit learning, and so I'm always open to learning new things. So certainly, like if someone contacted me and they wanted me to learn lead pages and they're willing to pay me $300 an hour to learn lead pages, I would learn lead pages, right? So if it's a smart skill for you to learn and it would benefit you and help you find clients, then that's when you want to add that skill to your particular skill list or outsource it. Okay, so that's a great question. That's a great question. What if it's a skill I don't want to learn? But I want to get this client, then outsource it. Hire somebody for your team. Let's see. Tracy says, do you have clients that are expecting to pay small amounts? Basically, I spoke to someone and they reamed me for charging what I charge and stated, good luck getting that as a VA. People aren't paying that now. Okay, you know what? People pay I know people who are paying their VAs $150 an hour. So Tracy, I don't think you're charging $150 an hour. I don't think I know too many VAs who charge $150 an hour. If they are reaming you, number one, they're not your ideal client and you really don't want to work with them. Number two, the VA rates, honestly, I do have people who come to me who are looking for lower paying rates. If they're looking for anywhere between under $20 an hour, I do have them go to the Philippine network, where I tell them that they start around $10 an hour on the Philippine network. And those are the kind of clients who are brand spanking new, who just need to help with a few little things to get them over to the next part. And then what I tell them to do is I tell them to hire one of the Filipino VAs to get them to the next level. And then they hire another VA on top of that who has more skills or who maybe charges a little more or lives closer to them or whatever it is specifically that they're looking for once their budget can handle it. And then they'll have 2 VAs and they have a VA team. The VA has been working with them for a while, then becomes the project manager, and they help taking over managing another VA. But if they're just looking for somebody just to do something really super fast and they don't have a lot of money, then yeah, I send them over to the to the Filipino VA where they can get a lower rate. But I would say the average rates that people are looking for that come into the network are between $40 and $50 an hour. So honestly, whoever was chewing you out can just go jump in a lake. Honestly, if anybody chewed me out for my rates, I don't want to work with them anyway. So just, you know what? People are paying that. They are. Let's see. Beth says, if I do hire it out, sounds like an awesome solution. How do we go about that in the RFP? Okay, so if you have a team, there's a really fine line and a very fine window when you can let that person know that you're working with a team or not. And this is it's just something that you have to feel out, unfortunately. Some people do not like working with teams. Some people don't want to know that their work is being outsourced. So really, you kind of have to, once you get that client on the phone, you have to ask them some key questions. Have you ever worked with a virtual assistant before? Have you ever considered working with a team? Have you ever outsourced before? How do you feel about outsourcing? That kind of thing. Just ask them some questions. I think it's a need to know thing, honestly, that you're outsourcing. If something is going to take a long amount of time because it's being outsourced, then it's important for them to know, you know what, I have my HTML coding outsourced to someone, so that's going to take a little bit longer time. But honestly, that's just between you on how you want to do it, because the it's not up to the client how the work gets done. If they're hiring a team, they understand they're hiring a team. If they're hiring an individual, honestly, if they don't think that some of it's being outsourced, then they might be just misinformed, because I know a lot of VAs do actually outsource some of their work. Whether it's graphic design, WordPress, like you said, like you build WordPress sites. That's not something that I could ever do. I would outsource that. But would I give up a client because they don't want to work with the team, and I'd not let them know that I was working with you? I probably would hire you without them knowing. I've done that before. I've hired outsourcers before to help me with particular things. And sometimes the client doesn't need to know. So you don't want to be dishonest. If they come right out and ask you, are you outsourcing this? Don't be dishonest. The worst thing that anybody can do ever is be dishonest. So just be honest about it. But there's a fine line, and there's a window of when you can share that information. So that's a really, really, that's a tough question. And that's something that is really client-based, particularly. Hopefully that helps you with the rates, Janice. I will tell you that if you've been a VA less than a year, you're not going to be able to get around $40 an hour. You need to be a VA for 2 to 3 years probably to go, higher than 40. And depending on your skills, though, I take that back. Really, it just depends. I don't want to say ever that somebody can't command a certain rate. Just be smart about your rates. Adjust according to your skills, according to your testimonials, according to your experience, according to the amount of time that you've been in. But jumping straight out of the gate, a brand new VA who just started last month charging $50 an hour isn't going to get it. Okay. So that's just something that, if you haven't had your mentoring session, that might be something we could talk about in the mentoring session on what rates you think might be able to charge. So Beth says, I asked this because a lot of RFPs I am interested in, because they have design, social media management, content creating, scheduling and setting up of funnels and opt-ins, but they also want you to manage emails and calendars. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'll be honest with you, Beth. This is what I would do if I were you. When they're doing things like that, they're asking you for super high-end, high quality, a lot more per hour tasks, and then they're asking you to manage emails and calendars. That is certainly a wide open window for you to say, you know what, I have a team member who can help manage the emails and calendar for you at a lower rate, and I'll help you with these other things, the funnels and things at a higher rate. That's what I actually encourage a lot of business owners to do. If they have these really general admin tasks, and they don't have a lot of money, and then they need somebody to help with a big launch that's going to be, my launching strategists charge between $70 and $90 an hour to do launching strategies for people. They don't want to pay $70 or $90 an hour for a launching strategist to be checking their email. So hire 2 VAs, hire general VA, hire Filipino VA, whatever works for you, whatever you're comfortable with, to help you with these lower end tasks at a lower rate, and then hire someone with a higher rate to help you with those bigger things. So that's definitely an open window for you to say to them, look, do you really want me checking your emails for $70 an hour or whatever it is you charge? And they're going to say no. You say, hi, I have an awesome team member who's really great at this. Let me introduce you to this person. And so then you can work that out between however you do it. Whether you keep negotiating with the client, or you let your subcontractor do it, or it's a team member that actually works for you. I don't know, whatever you guys want to do. That's a whole separate thing. So. Okay, so are there any other questions? I am gonna make a little bit of an announcement for you guys who are on with me today. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. The network's gonna be going through some changes again. I have someone who has actually offered to buy the network from me, which is the big sign that the network is making an impact, you guys. This is really exciting. I have turned them down. So before you start panicking, I am not selling the network. However, I am working with someone who's probably going to be partnering with me, and we're going to take the network into a much bigger level. So in order to do that, I really have to get it back to where it's working more for itself. So a lot of you guys have seen that I've been running around with my chicken or my head cut off, like a chicken with my head cut off, the last few months, because I've been trying to manage so many different things, and a lot of balls have been dropped, and things have been missed, and mistakes have been made. And so the network is going to be going back to a directory where when you get to the website, it will be all about the clients. It will be all about them finding the perfect virtual assistant. We'll get the ratings back. We'll get the big pictures back. We'll get the pages will look better. So I'm going to be doing that big move, and that's going to take some time. But honestly, a lot of people aren't looking for VAs during Christmas time, but they will be in January. So probably in December, the site will be down for a short amount of time. I'm also going to be taking away a few of the benefits and lowering the price for a more consistent price level for everybody, so we can have, I would like to have between 100 and 200 VAs. I'm going to cap it at 200. I think that's going to be too many. I'm still going to make it unique. I'm still going to be promoting it. It's still going to be me out there finding new clients and bringing them to the network. But I would like to be able to get the site onto other people's sites on their tools page. So that's my goal for 2015, is to get it on coaching sites for their tools page, where they send people directly over to the network. So right now they're sending them like to Zirtual and places like that. Oh, we want that to go away. We want them to come to the network. So in order for me to be able to go out and find you guys more clients, I am going to have to take a step back with the mentoring. I'm going to have to take a step back with my hands-on into the network with the coaching and training. And it's going to become the directory style again. It's going to be beautiful. I'm really excited about it. I'm working with a developer right now to make it beautiful. We talked about this before, where I told you the theme was going to change. I'm also signing up for Member Mouse, where we're going to be able to get everybody's memberships into one place, so it's not all over the place. And my sweet project manager, Franz, is going to be so much more grateful that he doesn't have to manage everything everywhere. So basically what it's going to be is that the VA benefits are going to be on leapfrogva.com, and the client stuff is going to be on leapfrogvanetwork.com, and the same thing with the Filipino site. You don't have to worry though. When you go to leapfrogvanetwork.com, it'll seamlessly go back and forth between the two sites, but you'll see something different when you're in looking at your benefits and the replays and the trainings and getting your benefits. But the clients will see something a lot more cleaner and slick, and they'll be able to search by category. Right now, it's just not as functional as I'd like it to be, and I'd really like to add a bunch more VAs. So the rate is going to be $127 flat rate for everybody all year, every year. I'm not going to have any big sales or anything anymore. I am going to cap the membership though. So if you guys, I'd love for you guys to stay, but just be planning that's going to be capping and things are going to be changing. So I'm super excited. It's going to be so much more automated, and I'm going to be able to spend more time bringing clients, and I'm really hoping to keep that RFP board constantly changing out with new RFPs. I'm not going to be hand-picking clients anymore, or hand-picking VAs anymore. For people that, if they want me to do it desperately, then they'll have to pay me more money. But my goal is for them to fill out RFPs, so more VAs get more opportunities instead of just handfuls of them getting that here and there. I want more of you to have more opportunities. So that's why we're making the change. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. But the mentoring, yeah, is just, there's some things that are going to have to change where I can spend more time bringing in clients rather than doing so much training. Elevate your VA biz. I gave it my very best go. I didn't make any money at all. I did 16 trainings in 2 months, and I made 0 money off of it. So Elevate your VA biz it's a goner. So hate to do it, but the training is definitely going to stay. So you guys are set with the training, so that's good. So let's go back and see. Looks like you guys have been talking a little bit. Let's see what questions you have for me on here. Do you do the mentoring for determining your rate? I've been stuck at the same rate for 5 years, and increasing it has been a hassle. Yeah, definitely, Beth. Anything you want to talk about in the mentoring? By the way, even though the mentoring is going to be going away, that's just for new members. So if you've already signed up, you still have those 2 hours of mentoring sessions with me. But honestly, guys, I started thinking about that, and there's just no way I could reasonably do as much mentoring as I've been offering. Like, as you guys see, my calendar fills up so much. But Beth, yeah, definitely. Let's talk about your rates. Let's get you going here. Tracy says, if we are looking at hiring a team or subcontracting, it out. Can we submit a proposal through you? Absolutely. A lot of VAs have been doing this. Did you guys know that Amanda Goldman Petrie gets her VAs from my network? She doesn't look anywhere else. All of her VAs come through my network. She's hired almost 10 VAs from my network. She's not the only one. A lot of people. Angie Fisher is hiring hers through my network. Pam Baca is hiring her team through my network. So you guys hire within the network. Keep the value here. I am determined to make this the go-to place. I'm not giving up on this. It was really tempting, you guys, to sell it, to be honest, because I don't make very much money. But the fact of the matter is that I love it, and I love you guys, and I love helping, and I love it that people know that I'm a person to go to. And as I build my coaching program, oh, you guys, I'm excited. I got to tell you about it. So as I build my coaching program, I am finding more and more and more people who are looking for VAs, and I'm becoming a voice to the online business coach, to the online business owner for you guys. I'm your go-between. And so if I left it, I think that it would have just fallen apart. I don't think it would have been what it is. So I'm definitely not leaving it. Oh, I'm hoping that that's why you're saying phew. Yeah, Sylvie, you need to get on the ball. We need to get you guys, I'm sorry about the dogs. I'm sorry. I'm glad we were able to talk though, and I didn't have to record it. I was afraid I'd have to record it. So yeah, Sylvie, definitely let's get your page done and get you going on there. People are coming to the site. You guys, I don't know what happened. The other day, somebody sent me an email that said that they posted about the network in one of their groups, and for me to expect some RFPs coming in. And the very next day on my statistics, you know, I usually hang around a certain number, and my statistics literally skyrocketed by like 110% that one day that somebody posted in the group. So that's all it takes, you guys. We need to help each other, and we need to share it in the groups. And you guys have been doing really great at that, by the way. Lately, I've been seeing that a lot of you have been promoting the network, and it really helps us out. It helps everybody on the network, not just me. So I really think it's awesome. Oh, my little dog got off the leash. I don't know how she did it. So now she's fighting with the big dog. I apologize, you guys. Sit, sit. Good girl, sit. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Tracy, we need to get yours up too, for sure, girl. We need to get yours up. Let's see. I've replied to a few RFPs, but not heard nothing back. I'm in this place where I'm being ambivalent, and the idea of getting more trade time for dollars gaze was bumming out. Well, that's the thing. You don't have to trade time for dollars. So watch my networking, or no, my pricing and packaging. You should not be. I don't want any of my VAs, and you guys, I feel like I have possession of you guys, not really. I don't want any of my VAs on my network trading time for money, you guys. That's why you have to price and package and add value. So go back and watch those classes, you guys. Yeah, because I don't trade my time for money. And ever since I made that mental, first off, you have to make that mental conversion, right? And once I made that mental conversion, I actually started making more money, and it was lovely, let me tell you. Let's see. Yeah, so Sylvie, yes, if you're signed up before your next time that it ends, you definitely are getting, you know, you guys are still getting the benefits. When the new site comes up, there's going to be a different round of benefits for the new people and anybody who's been contacting me. And welcome to tell people they can come and join me for 127 right now. They just won't be getting the same benefits. And I'm going to make that change as quickly as I can. I spoke with Franz this morning. We have a strategy. And I've spoken with Nitesh, who's going to be helping with the coding of the site. And I have a strategy, and it's going to be happening really quickly. And then we're going to do another big launch. You guys, when I did that launch, launching is really a great thing. You don't have to launch just once. You guys can launch 2 to 3 times a year, and you can launch your website and go through the whole thing step by step. So get that book called Launch and do it. And I'm telling you, when I send out the VA intern, I've got a lot of people who have signed up for that waiting list. So hopefully you guys are going to get that the VA intern stuff, and be ready to start doing some internships if that's something you're interested in doing. Yeah, see, web design packages are definitely not time for money. Yeah, you know what, Beth? Let's just schedule a time to talk. I think I'm booked up clear into December. I'm sorry, but I think I am. So, but anyway, I was going to tell you guys. So, my new coaching platform is a little bit different than what most coaches are doing. I decided I had two choices. I could have 5 VIP coaching clients a month. I don't think I can handle more than 5. And so the price would have to be so high. And I just don't feel comfortable charging that. I don't think it's worth it to pay someone $1,000 for an hour or 2 of their time. So I'm creating a new strategy for my coaching. It's called Launch. And you can go to jeffwalker.com and get it. There's the link. jeffwalker.com. It's just called Launch. It's a great book. I read it in one day. It's super short and easy to read. The way my strategy is going to work is that I'm having 2 options for people to join my coaching. You can join into my group coaching, which is called Breakthrough Evolution. It's a 6-month coaching. It's $197 a month. And you come into this group and it comes with monthly training, 3 emails a month to me, group coaching calls, no more than 20 people on one group coaching call. So I'm going to separate it into 3 to 4 groups. And then if you want to buy time with me, there's one-on-one time that you can buy outside of that group coaching. And that's the only options I'm going to have. So the group coaching, $197 a month for 6 months. And if you pay $997, you save like a couple $100 to pay it all up front. And you pay for the full 6 months at one time, you save some money. If you're in my group coaching, you can buy 1 hour of time with me for one-on-one coaching, as many as you would like, for $97. If you're not a member of my group coaching, then it's $197 for 1 hour with me. And that's it. I'm just like, I'm all about elevating my business in 2015. And the way I'm going to do that is to simplify. I'm making a lot of mistakes. I'm skipping a lot of things. I'm letting people down. It's making me sad. And so it's really important for me to try and simplify, but also to increase my income. And so that's why we're making these changes. It's going to be better for you guys. It's going to be better for me. I'm going to be able to keep my head on straight and keep track of all of my children everywhere they are. Yeah, so, oh, Beth, just go to Leapfrog VA Network. There's a little pop-up that comes up, and you just click right on there to schedule a time. I do my VA interviews or my mentoring sessions on Wednesdays. So schedule your time to chat with me on a Wednesday. And like I said, I think I'm booked out until the 2nd week in December or something like that. So I apologize that it's going to take so long to get in. But things will be changing in January as this coaching program now. I'm giving you guys a heads up that starting I don't know when I'm going to do it. As soon as I do this. Anyway, the first 20 people who sign up for my group coaching will get in for $97 for that first month, and then $197 for every month after that. So you're going to save $100 the first month. So I'm going to give you a break in December. So I really hope that you guys will come and join me for this group coaching. It's going to be awesome. And there's going to be some amazing entrepreneurs in there. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to do some training in there. I'm going to have downloads for you. We're going to have group coaching calls. You can email me, and then you can buy time one-on-one with me. That way you don't have to pay $1,000 a month to coach with me. It's ridiculous. I don't want to charge anybody $1,000 a month. All right. So, or let me give you a link here. I can give you this link too. So there's an option there right in my VCTA for a mentoring session, and try and schedule that on a Wednesday if you could, because my coaching clients are on Thursdays. So group coaching on Tuesdays, VA coaching on Wednesdays, and VIP coaching on Thursdays. And that's just smart business, you guys. I've been overloaded. You guys have been awesome. It's been loads of fun. I hope the dogs haven't been too distracting. I appreciate you sticking me out with this first little bit when we just couldn't get things going. And let's carry the conversation over into the group. So join me over in the group. Also sign up for my Mommy Mastermind. It's posted in the group right now. The Mommy Mastermind is a planning session where we're going to map out your entire year for 2015. Let me tell you, mine is mapped out and it is so exciting. I am so stoked. that everything is planned out for 2015. I know what I'm going to be doing every month. And right now I'm working on what I'm going to be selling in January. And it's like a huge relief. I don't have to wake up and be frantically doing things all day. So I've got things planned out. It's going to be amazing. So I look forward to meeting with all of you out there and us getting to know each other more, and for you guys signing up for my coaching and helping you guys develop your businesses more, and for you guys replying and getting the call back on the RFPs as well. Oh, Tracy, I did. I pulled the wool out from under her during our coaching session. We had our 1 hour mentoring session. Actually, I kind of bumped over her VIP 2 hour kickoff call to another day, because after we had that 1 hour call, boy, we had a lot to talk about, didn't we, Tracy? That was awesome. It was loads of fun. So ask Tracy, or ask anybody who's coached with me. I will ask you the hard questions. I will give you the hard answers. And I will help you, and I will be there to support you 1000%. You're not going to get that from just any coach. I'm there to help you guys because I love the VA community, and I especially love helping VAs. So yeah, one more question, absolutely. God, this chat is really slow, you guys. I apologize. It's just slow. So let's see what the question is. Let's see. So you guys, I'm going to give you guys a link too here really quick. Let me grab a link for you guys while I'm waiting for this question. I'm going to have you guys go and join my Mommy Mastermind group, which is going to be for all the people who are attending my Mommy Mastermind course, which I hope you guys are signing up for. And you guys can be the first people to join this group. It's going to be loads of fun. It's not going to be, it's just basically a mastermind chatting group. Here's a link to that. I'd love to have you guys join. And let me give you a link as well to sign up if you haven't for the Mommy Mastermind planning, because I've got some emails that are going to be going out, you guys, that have templates and downloads. This is just a big old fat free class that's going to be amazing. So there's the link to that for you guys to sign up for that. That's okay. So the video interview, what that is if you go to the network, let me share my screen. So if you go to the network, what you're going to see is the video interviews with some of the gals there. And the clients really like these video interviews. And so basically what it is it's better than just seeing a picture of somebody, right? So if you go over here to Angie, you'll see that Angie and I had a little chat. And so people can actually see Angie talking. They can see that she's the real person. She really is the person in the image. She's really the person that they're talking about. And my whole idea when I first started the network was that I wanted to have these video interviews, because whenever I would go to Odesk or Elance, I never knew if that was really the person I was getting. Did they just find some random picture of somebody? Maybe the person, and because a lot of times I couldn't get them to do a Skype call with me, and then I didn't know if their English was really good. And so these video interviews are really key, and people are watching them. They're getting a lot of views. Now let me show you also, if you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/LeapfrogVA, there's also, and I'm getting I'm really surprised I'm getting more and more subscribers every day. Let's see, does it say how many I have now? I think I'm almost to 150 subscribers now. But let me give you, which is really good because I don't really promote so if someone goes to my YouTube channel, so they'll see posts that I make, and they'll go visit my YouTube channel, or they'll see some of the training videos that I provide. They'll go to my YouTube channel, and right there on the YouTube channel are also where the videos are for the interviews. So she doesn't see the link. Which link do you not see, Tracy? Let's see. You know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and just share these into the group probably. There's the link. Oh, it didn't turn into a link. That's why. Okay, so the Google link is to the sign up for the planning. The YouTube link is to show you my YouTube channel and how it's organized and how people can go and see the interviews with the VAs. And you guys have subscribed, it'd be awesome. And then the Facebook group is the Mommy Mastermind, which I'd love to have you guys be a part of. And that's just going to be a group just for entrepreneurs to come and join. It's going to be totally free where they can come and join, and we'll just have lots of fun over there. So hopefully, is that everybody's questions? So we had a lot of questions today. We covered a lot. So hopefully, you know, like I said, carry this over into the Facebook group. I'd love to continue the conversation if you have more questions. And hope you guys have a brilliant and wonderful day. And thank you for being members of the network. It really makes me happy, and I love all of you. Chat with you guys later. Bye-bye.